Jane. You can start. Good luck, everyone.
Thank you.
Hello, and a very warm welcome to this Medical Tourism Special Interest Group webinar. My name is Jane Turner, and as the coordinator of the Atlas Special Interest Groups, I would like to thank you for joining today's session. Atlas, the Association for Tourism and Leisure Education and Research, is a global association with over 140 member universities across 45 countries, all of whom are dedicated to advancing education within the fields of tourism and leisure studies. With a portfolio of over 20 special interest groups and growing, the special interest groups cover a whole host of topics, helping to create a vibrant community within Atlas amongst the thousands of educators, researchers and practitioners who are members. As a result, there's always lots of really interesting research projects, events and opportunities and networking and knowledge exchange to become involved with. The hosts of today's webinar include the Medical Tourism SIG Coordinator, Professor Kai Illing, Associate Professor Vildan Yilmaz, and guest speaker, Dr. Anna Balik-Wolf. I will now hand over to Vildan, who will moderate today's session. Over to you, Vildan.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our special interest group. This is our first international and integrated meeting. I'm very excited to be here. Thank you for the chance. Now we will have a lot of supportive and very beneficial presentations for our attendees. I hope everything will be good with the meeting. After the presentations, we will have a discussion part also. So all the participants can ask their question or can have, supply us with their interesting ideas. Thank you very much. By the way, I am from Turkey, Alanya Alaaddin Keykubat University. It's hard to say, but if I say Alanya, maybe everybody will remember the Mediterranean part of Turkey. Thank you again. I think now Anna will start with her presentation, right? Yes.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, so here is Anna with her presentation.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to take part in this meeting. My name is Anna Bjerg-Wolf. I represent the Institute of Research and Development of Medical Tourism as well ProTourMed Foundation. I have today two presentations. In this first presentation, I want to show you an example of cross-border cooperation aimed at developing medical tourism, a project I've been involved in from the very beginning. The goal of this presentation is to share experiences and to show the challenges that come up in the projects like this. I hope that perhaps someone in this room will have an idea for the next stage of development, and maybe my experience will also be useful to you in your own similar endeavors. So let me start from the beginning. The full title of this presentation is Supporting the Development of Medical Tourism through Cross-Border Cooperation using the example of other region health project. Let's start with the basic question, why Poland and Germany? From various studies and observation, we know that medical tourism develops best locally, when distances between the patient's home and the clinic are not too great. Cultural proximity also supports its growth. Given this, cooperation between Poland and Germany seems like a natural fit. But there is something even more important here. Poland and Germany are not really competitors in medical tourism. They are complementary partners. In many areas, they offer services that complete each other rather than overlap. Poland is known for highly competitive prices, excellent rehabilitation, health resort treatment, dentistry, and aesthetic medicine. Germany, on the other side, is known for complex diagnostic, specialist surgery, and oncology. So a German patient going to Poland is looking for something completely different from a Polish patient coming to Germany. This is natural basis for building a shared regional network. And because of this complementarity, it also makes sense to jointly promote the other region's healthcare offer on distance international markets. such as Arab states. To be more specific, patients from Poland most often seek specialized oncological and neurosurgical care areas where German clinics have an outstanding international reputation. Patients from Germany traveling to Poland most often look for rehabilitation, health resort stays, dental care, and aesthetic procedure, offered at high quality and much more affordable prices. Neither side is trying to replace the other. They are filling in each other's gaps, and that is a very healthy starting point for cooperation. This example already shows us what conditions need to be placed in two countries to jointly build a medical tourism network. First, complementary service offering, as we just discussed. Second, geographical and cultural proximity. Third, legislation enabling cross-border cooperation. EU regulation on social security coordination provide exactly that framework. And fourth, freedom of movement of person. All these conditions are fully met in the other region, on both the Polish and German sides. That was the solid foundation on which the project was built. So, how did this all begin? In 2023, Visit Berlin, the official marketing agency of the city Berlin, identified the opportunity. They had already been promoting Berlin as a medical destination since 2010 and had been active on the Polish market since 2020. They recognized that a Polish patient coming to Berlin for a complex surgery and a German patient traveling to Poland for rehabilitation are completely different travelers, but both are part of the same regional ecosystem. The idea was to build informal connection between healthcare and tourism provider on both sides of the border within the broader framework on the other partnership. Just a few facts. The project started in September 2023. It is led by Visit Berlin and co-financed by the European Regional Development Fund. It is anchored in Berlin's Internationals program, which promotes international business network. The initial phase ran until August 2024 with the optional to extend, and it was extended. Two academic research institutions support the project, one of each side of the border. In Germany, it was the Hochschule von Rhein-Sieg, the only German university with a dedicated medical tourism research unit. And from the Polish side, it was ProTourMed Foundation, which I represent, funded in 2018, focused on promoting Poland as a medical tourism destination and also conducting research. I coordinate the project on the Polish side. Let me say a few words about the region itself. The project covers the area along the river Oder, the natural border between Germany and Poland. On the German side, it includes 4 federal states, Mecklenburg-Vorpommern, Berlin, Brandenburg, and Saxony. On the Polish side, 4 voivodeships, West Pomerania, Lubusz, Great Poland, and Lower Silesia. The landscape is remarkably diverse, from the Baltic Sea coast in the north, with its healing maritime climate, to mountain spa areas in the south, forests and lakes in between, and vibrant cities offering culture, shopping, and leisure for patients and their families. What does participants in this project actually offer to medical and wellness facilities? A few things. First, visibility. Joint promotion through the shared website, Oder Region Health EU, and at major trade fairs. Second, knowledge. The opportunity to learn how facilities on the other side of the border are organized and what they offer. Third, connection. Direct business relationship with potential partners. And finally, the ability to co-create new products and services together. Important, participation in this project is free of charge. The main activities included regular partner meetings held alternatively in Poland and in Germany, study visits to medical facilities, creation of a multilingual brochure in 4 languages, participation in international trade fairs including ITB Berlin, ATM, Dubai, and the launch of the project website. The network is built around 4 pillars: medical treatment, wellness and spa, rehabilitation, and leisure. The combination reflects the full journey of the medical tourist, from treatment through recovery to relaxation. Let me briefly walk you through the main events we organized. The kickoff place in Berlin in February 2024. Over 50 participants, including clinic visit to the orthopedicum and Helios Clinicum, with a focus on how they serve international patients. In Poznań, in Poland, June 2024, over 20 representatives visited Sport Rehabilitation Center and another hospital. In Dresden, September 2024, we visited also 2 hospitals and learned how international patient offices are organized. It was the model that could inspire Polish facilities. In Wrocław, 2025, we attended trade fair, visited Medicus Clinic and a kurort Sztawno Jedlina, and delivered training on serving patients from Arabic countries. And the last one in Brandenburg, 2025, we explored the fascinating cross-border care model between twin cities, Gubin in Poland and Guben in Germany. It was a very concrete example of what really cross-border healthcare can look like. We had also online meeting, 2 of them. One of the topic was differences between healthcare system in Poland and in Germany. Indeed, there are a lot of differences we should keep in our mind when we try to organize cross-border cooperation. So, what did the project deliver? A stable group of stakeholders, clinics, rehab centers, health resorts on the both sides of the border. Promotional tools, a multilingual website, brochures, and social media presence. But I would say the most unexpected and valuable benefit was something harder to measure: mutual discovery. Despite being neighbors, Germany and Poland knew surprisingly little about each other's healthcare system and generally about each other. Both sides were repeatedly surprised by prices, by doctor salaries, by clinic standards, by the qualification of physicians. These moments of discovery were often the most valuable parts of the whole project. But beyond the tangible outputs, the project built something less visible but equally real. A small community of professionals from Germany and Poland met, worked together, and now just trust each other. The social capital, the fact that people know each other by name, is generally hard to create and easy to underestimate. But I would like to be honest about the difficulties too. First of all, stakeholder engagement was harder than expected. Many patterns were busy. Key decision makers were often absent from the meetings, which limited our ability to move things forward quickly. We also found that reaching smaller facilities, even those close to the border, was logistically complicated. Proximity on the map does not always mean easy cooperate in practice. Most importantly, there are no measurable patient flow between patients yet. Achieving that requires sustained long-term cooperation that goes well beyond a single project cycle. And funding. EU and Land Berlin ended at the end 2025, and the project currently has no budget for further activities. This is a real risk to continuity. So, where we do stand? We have a live multilingual website with partner profiles. We have a database of facilities ready to cooperate. We have a network of people who know and trust each other. And we have documents knowledge about both healthcare systems. What is missing is a budget and defined vision for the next phase. I want to end with the open question: Not just theoretical. Is there any funding that would pick up this? Does anyone have any idea for the next step? Thank you very much for your attention. I'm happy to take questions later, but now and I hope we will have a chance to discuss this project a little bit more. But now, as planned, I would like to move on my second presentation, a slightly different topic, both still connected to medical tourism. I will be talking about health parks as an element of building an ideal medical tourism destination. But first, we need to answer the basic question: what actually makes a destination ideal for medical tourism? Of course, it needs to offer high-quality medical services, but that is not enough on its own. The environment matters, the local culture matters, the infrastructure matters. When we put all this together, we get what researchers call a health region, and that is exactly where I would like to start. Let me begin with definition. Health region. Health region is defined as a geographically bounded area with an updated natural environment, good medical and tourist infrastructure, an attractive culture offer, well-educated, healthy residents who share common values and competencies. They are aware of the broad spectrum of health aspects, covering physical and mental function, spiritual dimension, quality of life, social engagement, and everyday function. What I find important here is just not hospital and clinic. It's about ecosystem, nature, culture, people, infrastructure, all working together. Of course, a health region does not appear on its own. There are specific preconditions for establishing of health region. On the one side, you need the right condition, a wide range of health service available, genuine awareness of health's role in the region, benefits for both residents and visitors, and a coherent, integrated offer, not just a collection of unconnected services. Cross-sector synergy is a key. On the other side, you need right stakeholders at the table: politician, resident, healthcare providers, hospital, research institution, medical technology companies, and education bodies. It takes everyone working in the same direction. Looking at the development concept more closely, you can see it's as a system with several layers. The core system includes hospital, clinics, hotels, transport, gastronomy, tourism infrastructure, research, and the residents themselves. Around this system are connected elements like ecology and sustainable development. And then come and that outcomes: economic development, better quality of life, jobs for young people. The model also emphasizes communication tool, stakeholder analysis, market selection, training, shared visual identity. That is often underestimated, but a region that cannot communicate its offer clearly would not attract medical tourists. Why a health region is an ideal medical tourism destination? So why exactly is a health region the ideal framework for medical tourism destination? Let me give you 5 reasons. First, it increases overall attractiveness and gives visitors a sense of safety. Second, it is characterized by a clean, unpolluted natural environment, which itself has health benefits. Third, it has good medical and tourism infrastructure. Fourth, it takes a broad, holistic view of health, not just treatment, but prevention, regeneration, mental well-being. And fifth, it corresponds to regional character of medical tourism, which is by nature place-specific. A medical tourist destination involves many different actors. On the medical side, clinics, doctors, rehabilitation center, diagnostic center. On the tourist and institutional side, hotel, health resorts, tour operators, also IT, telemedicine companies, which are becoming increasingly important. The key point is here integration. These actors need to work together, not in parallel silos. So now I want to spend a moment on something that sometimes treated as secondary: nature and green infrastructure. In densely urbanized areas, green spaces are not just decoration. They are, on the source puts it, critical, multifunctional infrastructure. The evidence is clear. Green infrastructure purifies air, water, and soil. It regulates temperature and humidity. It supports biodiversity. And for human health, it reduces stress, protected from noise, stimulates physical activity, and reduces obesity. It also creates social spaces, places where people meet, cooperate, stay longer outdoors. So health effects are significant both for adults and children. For adults, regular contact with green spaces reduces blood pressure, boosts immune function, especially in forest environments, and lower cortisol level. For children, it improves cognitive development and attention, has a support effect in ADHD treatment, and lower anxiety and risk of depression. There are not soft claims, there is a solid scientific evidence behind them. So where we are just now, what can cities actually do? There is a whole range of urban solutions that support public health under what is called One Health approach. These include green acupuncture, small parks, pockets park, urban biodiversity zones, water retention, infrastructure, saline graduation tower for respiratory health, and the concept of one of the 15-minute city, which promotes walkability and sustainable mobility. These are practical, implementable tools. Some of them are cheap. All of them contribute to healthier urban environment. Just now, the crucial question: what is health park? Let me come to the central concept of the presentation, a health park. Health park is formally defined as a public, accessible, spatially bounded area with diverse vegetation, included shaded areas located in low noise zone, away from air polluting environment, accessible by public transport, fulfilling leisure, regenerative, and health promoting function, with warranty access to the toilet within 100 meters of the park boundary. It's a Polish problem, public toilets. That is why we have to put also this remark to this definition. I know this sounds very precise, and it's actually the point. Health park is not just a green space, it's a specific and have clear requirements. What must a health park contain? At least 3 health promoting facilities, at least one of which must be a saline graduated tower, salt grota, health pavilion, rehabilitation tray, or rehabilitation park, and each must include information on its benefits and usage rules. There must be also at least one element with education value and supplementary elements like benches and rest areas. Crucially, the park must be accessible and safe for people of all health conditions, including older adults and people with disabilities. It's not optional, it's a part of the definition. Let me now show you how it works in practice. In Pomerania region in North Poland has developed what I consider a model approach. In 2024, 35 parks were assessed and given the health park designation. By 2025, this number grew to 29, and in 2026, the ranks expanded further to cover more parks with updated criteria. These parks offer a range of health promoting facilities, RIN graduation, health trails, observatories. They also host regular events, parkruns, yoga session, winter swimming, Nordic walking, disc golf. It's a living program, it's not just a label. The ranking evaluates across several categories, such as basic equipment, such as toilets, lighting, and drinking water, health promoting equipment like graduation tower, health trails, sport equipment, other amenities, event held in park location and accessibility, and finally, Google ranking and visitor reviews. The 2025 top results show Park Majkowskiego in one of the smaller cities in Pomerania region, followed by Park Legana in Gdańsk and Błonia in Sopot. The scoring system makes it transparent and comparable and gives parks something to aim for. The 2026 shows the system growing and becoming more sophisticated. 14 additional parks were added, new categories introduced, and evaluation criteria were redefined. The ranking now tracks regular health events as well. This kind of systematic approach is exactly what transforms the set of parks into a coherent regional health tourism product. The final piece of the puzzle is digital visibility. The Pomerania region has developed a mobile app called Perkos, available on both Google Play and App Store, free, no registration required, and bilingual Polish and English. The app gives us access to health park ranking, description of health promoting places, information on health events, medical and rehabilitation centers, tourist attractions, and educational content. It also uses location function to help users to find health promoting places near them. For medical tourism, especially international visitors, this kind of tool is essential. It makes the offer real and accessible. So, I'm good with time. Let me close with key message. Health region is the ideal framework for building medical tourist destination. It integrates medical, tourist, and environmental assets into a coherent offer. Green and blue urban infrastructure. I've spoken about blue urban. It's everything what is connected with water. It's no longer just nice to have. It's a critical public health infrastructure and a real competitive advantage for health destination. A health park is a defined, certified concept with specific requirements. It's a tangible, rankable product, not just a green area. The Pomeranian model shows how a region can systematically inventory, rank, promote, and expand its health park networks. Digital tools like Perkos apps are essential for reaching international audience. And finally, investing in urban parks as health parks is one of the most cost-effective strategies a region can use to position itself as a health tourism destination. Thank you very much for your attention. I'm happy to take questions.
Thank you very much, Anna. I think we will have the discussion part after all presentations. So that's why I want to present you dear Kai Torsten Ilik for his presentations. Thank you very much again.
So I think you can hear me already now, and I hope that you see my screen. There's Atlas and, my headline for this lecture.
Yes, it's
Okay,
clear.
thank you very much. So is it okay and clear, and are you happy, and are you prepared to listen to me? Okay,
Yes.
thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, so I always don't know how to start actually, and so I I try to get a step in. Let's start with the blue keywords at the bottom of this picture. I work for 2 universities. One is in Austria, where I am right now here. One's in Germany. That's my main university I work for. But if I may say so, what's more important for me is my consultancy. So me and my team, we are developing hotels. We are hotel developers, and it's always the case that we do that when a hotel wants to become a medical hotel, or when a wellness hotel asks us, so what is actually the future of wellness? And then normally we say, yeah, that could be longevity, and then we explain um, what longevity is more than wellness is, and what the differences are, and that's the way we get a step. We cooperate with hotels and say them how to further develop. So that will be one of my main points a little bit later. As first part of my presentation, and that starts now. So from wellness to longevity, that's actually tends to go in a quite medical direction, but not necessarily. So, and that's why I tried to explain to you what longevity is, and longevity in hospitality could be, and how to separate, or how to distinguish wellness on the one hand and longevity on the other hand. So longevity normally is, all these 6 points here. Unlike wellness, longevity focuses deep into the microbiological spheres of our human body, to cells and stem cells and mitochondria, and how they work and how they react when you do something with your body: eating, make a sport, gym, sleeping, social relationships. What happens with the cells and with your microbiology layers of your body, Then longevity is very much focusing on personalized care. Third point here in this little list is that longevity is, unlike wellness, very much focusing on diagnostics, emphasizing prevention, very much emphasizing prevention. Of course, it focuses on life expectation and a good health status up to the very end of your life. And it also tends to focus on optimization. So you are pretty, but you like to become very pretty, or you are healthy and you like to become very, very healthy, or you are, I don't know, you are very good performing in your job, and you try to be able to very, 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 very good performing in your job to earn more money or whatever. So this optimizing, from good to better, that's also a part of the philosophy of longevity, actually. Yeah, longevity can be very medically, but it can also be just living according to good practices, but always with the knowledge of microbiology. Okay, so let's take that a little bit more concrete now. Left-hand side wellness. We know of these pools and sauna. So I'm talking about wellness hotels now, yeah? Pools and sauna and gym and cosmetic care. It is always the same around the world. And that's actually quite boring, because all the hotels, be that in Europe or Africa or Venezuela or whatever, wherever, they are offering more or less the same services. Yeah, that's why I'm talking about a boring wellness industry, and all these hotels looking desperately for new strategies or new aims or new markets or new possibilities, how to get services in a, for them, innovative way. And that offers not only longevity, but also longevity. And that's why I'm now going to the right-hand side of the picture. And just in order to avoid misunderstandings, I'm now talking about the inner circle and the middle circle and the outer circle, talking about the three blue layers, circles. In the middle circle, we see how to live in a good way, how to live healthy, with never smoking, with physical activity, no excessive alcohol, and restorative sleep, nutrition, stress. I mean, no stress. Yeah, social connections, no opioids, things like that. That's you should live according to these rules actually. And now we look to the middle. I mean, yeah, to the middle circle. Where the headline is soft longevity. So these things mentioned here as examples, these things can be offered also in a hotel, location or tourist setting, the dietary supplements, for example, yeah, that can be easily offered in the hotel's restaurant. Heat and cold treatments, so sauna and ice cold water, or the ice chambers, things like that, easily can that be offered in a hotel. I mean, they have to know about these technical devices, but that can be done in a hotel. Or number 4 here, the oxygen treatments with IHHT, for example, the intermittent hyper and hypo oxygen therapy, or the, what you can read here, the HBOT, the hyperbaric oxygen therapy, and things like that. That can be done in a clinic, but also in a hotel. I mean, the staff has to know how to handle that, but that can be offered in a hotel, in a tourist setting. Then we go to infusions, mineral infusions, oxygen infusions, vitamin infusions. All of these things can be done in a hotel. Then there should be a basic diagnostic, of course, and and all these points I've mentioned in the inner circle, they belong to what I call here in the middle circle, number 7, this lifestyle improvement that can be taught and that can be done in a hotel, in a tourist setting. Yeah? And when do you do that with a deep understanding of the molecular layers of your body, that can really has much more effect than only this very sorry, this well-known, maybe a little bit boring wellness stuff. But actually longevity has to offer much more than only these soft longevity issues. When we come to the outer circle, talking about medical longevity, we have to mention many more things. And then we start talking about the possibility how a hotel can maybe cooperate with a clinic, or that a hotel has an own department, maybe that's run as a medical department. So in this case, the area where the people sleep and eat, that's maybe organized as a limited. So I'm talking about the type of business, limited, and all these medical longevity services. They can be offered just in the next building, in a clinical, in a private clinic, for example. For example, this extended diagnostics, or number 2 on the right-hand side, number 3, that has been mentioned already by Anna, these, sports and activities in the outdoors, and number 4, a very surgical, a very helpful sometimes approach, is stem cell therapy, or pharmacological interventions, technological interventions, detailed knowledge about molecular biology, number 6, and now I come to the left-hand side of the outer circle, medical specialties such as mitochondrial medicine existing, very helpful, very good, very medical, difficult to realize in a hotel, but it is actually a thing that is very much focusing on healthy nutrition, and that can be realized, of course, in a good kitchen, a hotel too. So soft longevity things can be offered in a hotel easily, quite easily, but it's more than only wellness, much more than only wellness. And when it comes to the outer circle, medical longevity, okay, so you have at least a medical doctor working in your hotel, or you have some cooperation with a clinic that is maybe not too far, so that your guests can be sleep in your hotel and have some soft longevity treatments, and they got for harder medical treatments, maybe into the clinics that is not far away. So that's one possibility, how to differentiate between wellness on the one hand side and then a soft longevity and a medical longevity approach. And there are many wellness hotels actually that ask a little bit, shy and hesitating, but they ask, how can we develop further? What can we do? So we have the pools and the sauna, and in this case, I say that's a good starting point, but you need a little bit more when you like to be able to have these at least soft longevity services. But that is possible because as a wellness hotel, you already have a rough understanding of what health is and maybe prevention, maybe not yet about medical prevention and medical service, but you can learn at least in this soft longevity area. Okay, actually, well, yeah, my picture. So my understanding of what health is. So, and having this in mind, you learn maybe that there are many different possibilities how a wellness hotel can specialize. So it must not be always the wellness, but it can be more going left-hand side to the fun direction, having fun, well-being, okay, that's wellness. A more preventive, maybe a little bit medical prevention direction or focus than the typical cellular, so molecular biology, cell orientation, yeah, optimizing. I was talking about that, optimizing, teach your patients to get the step from healthy to very healthy, and from very good performing to very, very good performing with aid of your nature, your vicinity, and maybe your healing remedies, natural remedies you have, and your very good trainers and a gym and these things. But that needs a good knowledge about fitness and sport and all these health promoting issues. And then right-hand side, health can be medicine, and health can be elderly care, of course, and health can be surgery. Okay, so many different possibilities how to differentiate within the health tourism sector. Well, to find your new markets. Okay, that was my first input for today, from wellness to longevity. Yeah, and I think you are reading also. I mean that you're quite aware of all the international developments that happens right now, and I think you know that everybody is talking about longevity and longevity medicine and life expectancy and how it works. So I think already before my lecture, you got a glimpse of what longevity and this worldwide trend actually is. Let's come to my second, um, um, inspiration. We're actually preparing a research project and or some publications in the field of international healthcare. So that's not only wellness and longevity, it is much more. And that's why I'm starting now 5 more pictures, slides about this research project. Yeah. So my approach is, these 3 or 4 steps. The publicly subsidized healthcare systems, public health insurances, they are all collapsing right now, or they're starting collapsing, and that is a development that goes on maybe 10 or 20, 30 years more into the future, because of the demographics and because of migration. Okay, so no money anymore in these healthcare systems. I mean, I'm talking about the publicly subsidized healthcare systems. And the consequence is that the healthcare system will reduce their systems or their services. There will be no way out from that. And from that, we have 2 different reactions. People will go when they have money to the private payer markets, out of pocket markets. When my healthcare system does not care for me because it does not have money, okay, I pay by myself if I have enough money. Or I mean both. And number 4, the healthcare systems will go more to the prevention direction because preventive care is cheaper than repairing medicine. So prevention is cheaper than repair. And that will be one of the big developments in the next 10 or 20 or 30 years. Prevention is cheaper than repair. So going out and running and walking is cheaper than operating a hospital, and that's why we will have these tremendous developments and these very interesting things happen in the future with many healthcare systems in many countries of this world. So that's what our research project is targeting actually. So these 4 steps are the same 4 steps you can see here on the left-hand side, and I added here some keywords. So more going to methods and to the scientific approach, how to cope scientifically within a project with all these questions and transitions and developments. Yeah. We will have a systems approach when we look at the national healthcare systems and what happened with them in the way I was talking about just 1 minute ago. We will look at the national politics, how they will cope with these upcoming problems. We will look at the consumer behavior. So when my healthcare system is not able to pay for my diseases, so I do it by myself, and then we can look at the consumers, how they react, what they buy, what they do instead of getting money from the healthcare system. So I do it privately. So I go to the gym or I follow the longevity medicine. I do infusions. I go walking or hiking. I buy a bicycle. So that's a consumer search, and we will have a strong look to these consumers and how they react to these stunning and overwhelming developments and transitions we will have in the national and public healthcare systems. Yeah. And and I'm now talking about the right-hand side below. We will see how we can support the prevention points in the countries. We will look at the cross-border prevention. So what is possible when a German goes to Hungary, or when Germans go to Poland, or when Turkish people go to Greece, maybe to find there maybe a better private paid healthcare system and auto infrastructure and preventive possibilities. Maybe they are better in Greece than in Turkey. I don't know. These are the cross-border issues that are very interesting. We have so many people, for example, going from Germany to Turkey when they need their hair transplant. Or we have so many people from Germany going to Serbia when they need a stem cell treatment surgery. I mean, there's a steady flow of people going to other countries in search of better and or cheaper healthcare. So that will be the focus of our big research. But beware, we are still in a planning phase, and that's by the way here my last picture. We are still in the early stage of this preventive healthcare research project, and project means publications and or applications to any EU funds. So we do not know yet. But what I like to say is, if you are interested in that, just send me an email, and I will keep you updated how it goes, and if we have success when applying to those funds that are dealing with healthcare. So keep me updated about you and your interest in healthcare, and I will, vice versa, I will update you on regarding our findings or our development regarding these research projects we have in mind. Thank you very much.
I want to thank you for all your contributions. They were very, very, useful and very beneficial. I had, lots of notes, you see, and I have very much, of course, questions, but of course, for the discussion part, before I gave the words for our audience, just want to make some little contributions after I listened to you. First, for Anna, the national park, the health parks idea was very interesting. Actually, lately I was searching on a different paper, and it was about interior design of health-related facilities. And there is a very new and interesting term called as biophilic design. Interesting, it's very related with your issue. A biophilic design is an architectural and interior design integrated with nature. You make your architecture integrated with nature, so you enhance human health, well-being, and productivity in your health facility. It can be either a hospital, a clinic, or a wellness, facility, or a hotel. Interesting. After our research, we found out that we asked this with, too many people, health tourism professionals, and what they say to us, I want to say to you. Biophilic design is the most important attribute for wellness tourism. It's coming first for wellness tourists, and it comes second for medical tourists. For medical tourists, the most important thing, of course, is the quality of healthcare. But guess what? In the second comes biophilic design. So this health park idea is very important, I think, for managing health tourism destination. Very important, because it's a natural biophilic design area. So very interesting study. Thank you very much for your contribution. Of course, if there is any question, we can have them later. And for Kai, dear professor, again, very interesting. You are always giving interesting ideas to me. Thank you very much. Your presentation was about longevity zones, an important word for wellness tourism. An important and most important part of wellness tourism is longevity. The reason of wellness tourism is longevity, actually. And my last study is about natural longevity zones in the world. There are natural longevity zones in the world, and they are called as blue zones. Exactly. You know, the blue zones in Japan, yes, you know, in Italy, in USA, people live there naturally. You know, they eat less. They move more. They have good relationship with their families, with their friends. They have social talk meetings. They, drink wine at 5, something like that. You know, it was interesting to study about these blue zones. So I want to, this can be my contribution maybe. Maybe we can study about these longevity zones, about their natural life of living, and maybe we can have some clues for our new wellness destinations. For managing our wellness tourism destinations, we can, of course, not maybe it's possible to copy their, way of living, but we can have some clues to make our wellness destinations more successful or, competitive. This can be maybe a new study, idea for future research. We have, lots of audience, or we can share these ideas with you together. The last thing for me, according to Global Wellness Institute, health tourism is divided into two. One is medical tourism and the other one is wellness tourism. When we say medical tourism in our, presentations, we mean if we need any treatment, any invasive treatment, and if we need modern medicine, we are medical tourists. Or if we don't need any modern medicine, any invasive, treatment, if you want to be healthier or live long, if you want longevity, it's called as wellness tourism. To make it clear for our audience, I want to mention them both. Thank you very much for listening to I have many things, but it's all for now. Yeah. Now I want to ask our audience if they have any questions to you.
May I shortly respond to your
yes, of
to
course.
your things, Divya? Thank you very much for your very interesting, and also Anna, perfectly done and very interesting. Let me tell you one little story about the blue zones. 2 weeks ago, there was a banker from Sicily. That's a big island in Italy. And Sicily is not yet member of the Blue Zone Association. And this banker told me he would like to make a big resort, a new resort, a longevity resort. And a part of Sicily is already applying for becoming a Blue Zone member, but the process is still underway. And he wants to do this Sicily longevity resort in this, and so on and so on. Very interesting projects to include this all these natural values, I mean, the fruits and the herbs and these things as part of a maybe more, also including medical devices, combining with these natural things and natural remedies. Maybe that's part of the future of medical tourism, this combination of plants and fruits on the one hand and medical issues on the other hand. Very interesting idea. And that's what this guy from Sicily wants to realize.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Also Croatia and the
Mhm.
islands of Croatia, Diavira. That's
Mhm.
I know this country very well because
Mhm.
I've been
Mhm.
traveling to the country so many times.
Mhm.
I've been yesterday in Zagreb for a
Mhm.
project. Your country has big strengths and big
Mhm.
possibilities looking at wellness and
Mhm.
tourism and very healthy tourism.
Yes, but you know, it's very hard for destinations to be a blue zone. They are very tough list, a very tough,
Yes, of course.
thick list. I
Right.
think, as far as I know, more than 50 countries with, of course, small
Okay.
destinations.
Okay.
They
Interesting.
are on the list. Some
Okay.
of them are rejected.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting. So maybe we can be a blue zone destinations, for example, for wellness tourism, but we can, have inspire. We can inspire from way of
Yeah.
living for our
Yeah.
wellness destinations. That
Yeah.
was the thing I was
Yeah.
trying to mention.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Sorry for talking so much. Last sentence, I promise. We're done. I didn't know that there is a list of quality criteria how
Yeah.
to become a Blue Zone
Yes,
regional
yes,
member. That's very
yes.
interesting. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
share with you the Blue Zone
Thank you very much.
website.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
running by a company, you know.
Okay.
So they come to your destination and have
I
time
think
in
so.
there. And
Yeah.
yes. And Anna, do you have any other contribution?
No.
Mhm.
Thank you.
No, I want to be, and to talk all together with
Yes, of
us
course.
and
Yeah.
all
Okay.
audience, of
Yes, of
course.
course.
Mhm.
I have no questions for the time being, but the moment you said Croatia, my ears perked up immediately
Yeah.
because it's my country.
Yeah.
I have to say, this is my first webinar as part of the Atlas, and I must say, after hearing your presentations and comments, I am incredibly enthusiastic. And hopefully, I would very much like to stay in contact with all of you. And maybe we will be able to do some joint research in the future. Uh, Very, very enthusiastic because I heard some very interesting informations. Uh, it's a good ground for further development. Very, very interesting. I'm very thankful for this.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Mm.
Me too. I think Naomi asked something. Would visiting to consult with a traditional doctor to be treated egg without using scientific way of treatment? I think she means uh, modern medicine in that way, and traditional medicine in other way. Of course, I will choose the traditional medicine for nowadays, but. For traditional and complementary medicine issues, Global Wellness Institute take them as wellness tourism under the topic of wellness tourism. Of course, we can have a discussion about it, but according to Global Wellness Institute, if you have a customer or if you are searching for a modern medicine, if you are traveling for this, it's called as medical tourism. This is a very common, idea of the literature. Spas and alternative and complementary medicine is mostly regarded under the wellness tourism, mostly. Of course, people can combine all them together with medical tourism and with wellness tourism. You can use them both as a doctor or as a patient. It's then called as medical wellness.
Yes, depending on the structure, actually, because I have an acquaintance who has been struggling with cancer for a couple of years,
Oh,
and she had ups and downs with her health status. But one of the things that she decided to go and travel was to India, and actually use the services, but that were non-traditional, which have proven to quite work quite well for her health improvement. She had a remission. Some things are unfortunately have returned, but the first time that she went to India and used but it was these tradition indigenous, if it's the right word, I think, natural remedies, etc. It has proven to be
Yes.
quite curative, and it managed to put her in remission status the first time.
Yes.
She traveled motivated by that.
Yeah. How is she now, by the way?
Well, she was in remission, but she had also some situations currently, but I believe that now when she returns, that hopefully it will be with good
Yeah.
news.
Yeah, we wish good news from her.
Thank you.
Any contributions, any questions? I want to ask some question about traditional and complementary medicine. It's a very question mark topic, you know. As far as we understand from another hour's research, mostly when we say traditional and you know, complementary medicine, people use these words: spa, yoga, you know, Chinese medicine, Indian medicine, or people thinks about Thailand, India, China. But all countries, according to our studies, we asked to many people from different countries. They said the same words, which was interesting. They were from Europe, they were from, you know, USA, they were from Turkey and other parts of the world. They all said the same words: spa, you know, yoga, relaxation, meditation, something like that. As far as we understand, these are the common wellness tourism products all around the world. But the idea of us when we start this research, all destinations can have their own traditional way of treatment. For example, your mother give you a homemade, you know, medicine to get relaxed, to be healthier. Or in Turkey, they are called as koca karı. It means, you know, old ladies give you different kind of medicines and you get healthy after you know, seeing her. So we offered in this study that all destinations should make their own encyclopedia about their traditional way of medicine, so they can be more competitive. They don't have to make, you know, of course, spa, yoga, meditation, they are all important way of, even way of living in our culture. I go to yoga twice a week. But in Turkey, we can have more traditional ways for our wellness tourists from other countries. They don't come to Turkey to have yoga, you know, they must go to India or Thailand. So in Turkey, we should have different traditional way of wellness tourism, other, you know, complementary medicine. What do you think about that? Or in Croatia, or in Poland, in Germany, what do you think about it?
If I may, I think that the main problem is actually to which level is all this recognized by the government, by the ministries that are in charge, etc. To which point are the investments made into the improvement of these types of offer? And finally, even after all, if in case they are recognized and developed in accordance with the world trends, the attitudes of tourists who wish something, how to which quality, sorry, my English is not perfect, so
Mine
yes,
too.
but to which level is this promoted? because a lot of destinations tend to work hard to develop their health tourism offer. Either we discuss wellness or spa or medical tourist offer, but the worst problem is insufficient promotion and marketing activities. How can maybe there is something in Turkey that would suit me just fine, and especially in the medical part. An example for Turkey, we all know here in Croatia, hair transplant.
Yeah.
Immediately, hair
Yeah.
transplant, etc.
Yes, that's right.
But yes, but we wouldn't be able to know that without a proper marketing activities.
Mhm.
So
yeah.
I think it has to be all has to be settled, and adequate activities need to be undertaken by the government and below, and of course after that marketing. So my English is not
Yeah,
really perfect
this
because I
is
don't speak every
important,
day,
a
so
good
I do
point.
apologize, but
It's very good.
Very good.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
May I contribute one point to your statement before, Vedan? When you would ask me to come to Turkey and to find out something about the traditional rural medicine you have there
Mhm.
that can be used maybe for spa treatments, I would go to the very mountainous areas or to remote villages, asking those who are familiar, my elder people who are familiar with the local herbs and local remedies, local healing processes, and find out, how it works and what your villages and your regions and your country can offer. And I'm sure I will find many things that can
Yeah.
be easily be transferred to a modern spa culture.
To a tourist product, right?
It is, yeah.
By Turkish government, there are at least 10 or 12 traditional way of, treatment in Turkey, but they are not used in Turkey. Not any hotels, not any hospitals use them. In Turkey, 500 years before from now, people were going to the Darüşşifa.
Okay.
They are called as a treatment center by government. They were making treatment to people with bird voices, Turkish classical songs, according to their astrology, their color of their tan, their age, their gender, their sex. According to all these things, they were being treated with Turkish makams, with Turkish music, but not now. The main question of our study was why we are not doing this, why we are in Turkey having in our spas, why we have Thai girls in Turkey to make massage. Of course, we love her. I also go to them to have, if I have any pain, I go to them. They are very good with their job. But why in Turkey we promote this? Why we don't have, again, bird voices or Turkish classical music? There was cup therapy. They put some
cupping.
cup. Yeah, cupping. Yes, cupping. Yeah, it's starting to be done in the hospitals, nearly for 10 years maybe. Again, after 500 years. This is, not okay, I think.
You can observe just now, excuse me, you can observe just now a lot of natural-based treatment methods. Very popular in Poland just now, bird watching. Bird watching would help us also to be calm and to be in a better mood. Forest therapy is another one, also quite popular just now, also in Poland. It sounds from time to time quite funny for me, to be honest. I love forest, but it's a therapy. Yes, it is known as forest therapy. I think you are also mentioned.
Yeah.
This kind
forest
of
bathing. Forest bathing.
Forest bathing.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Yes, I understand your point. But you know, the wellness tourism, it doesn't say we have cancer or we need a heart transplantation or something. It means to live healthier, to be you know, to live long, or to live healthy at least. So these can be these traditional ways can be very authentic ways of promoting wellness tourism in a destination. Turkey has a lot more than hair transplantation, you know, or Poland, or you know, Croatia. So every destination should find, as far as we, you know, suggested in our study, their own way of traditional wellness tourism treatments. This
If
was
I'm,
the
yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
Yes, please, Professor.
thank you very much. Just a short intervention. If I make use of these spa treatments, I'm unfortunately a quite distrustful consumer. I do not believe when somebody talks about authenticity and from the nature. Um, I like to know. I like to get the information. Does it help or not? Only that is important for me, and that's why I tend, sorry for being a little bit modern medicine oriented, I need, or I tend to need a Harvard study behind that that proves it
Yeah,
helps
of
or not.
course, of course.
Other people like this atmosphere and this nature, and they like it, and that's okay. But for me, it has to help
Yeah, it is not
immediately,
enough.
if possible. Yeah. So
Mhm.
I'm a very demanding consumer. Sorry for that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Your idea was, you know, okay with the definition of wellness tourism.
Yeah.
Wellness tourism is a proactive way
Right.
of well-being.
Yeah.
Medical tourism is a reactive way. So
Yeah.
you can combine, you can
Yeah.
choose according what you need.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So in Croatia, an example, people when we mention wellness, so it depends on which exactly services and products are we are discussing. But wellness is more as a preventive way of traveling. You know, like I
Yes.
travel to improve my current health. I'm not sick. Okay, everybody has some ailments naturally, but I am traveling not motivated to cure myself from a particular disease, but to act preventively, to reduce the possibility of health risk or any illness development. Whether if it can be by simple going and bathing in curative mineral waters, or simply having a massage and relaxing, etc. But it's more of a preventive service. But like you said, when we discuss medical part, that's more okay. There is some problem. How can I fix it? It's not something that is maybe possible to do in Croatia because these services are not offered. I will go to Turkey, or in example, it's very simple. A lot of people tend to travel motivated by lower prices. In my example, it was I had an allergy situation, and in order to do some tests in Croatia, the prices were extremely high. In example, for one test, it was 100 euros. And without additional certificate, paper that a medical physician is in accordance for me to do this particular test, I had to pay additional 80 euros to get the recommendation from a medical professional to do those tests. I went to Belgrade on a conference. I came a day earlier, had coffee and drinks with my friends. I went to a private clinic and did a test for 34 euros. So
Yeah,
price is also not just quality, but also people tend to travel
Yes, of course.
motivated by price.
of
Even
course.
even if you calculate the bus fare or the airplane card, it still pays off.
Yeah, all included.
Yes.
Still
It is.
cheaper.
It is very,
As Anna mentioned in her, you know, presentations. I'm sorry, but we have 10 minutes. Do you want to talk about the project proposal of Professor Kaye Iling? Do you want to say anything, dear Kaye, about your project to our audience, that people, some of them will listen after all? Do you want to make an integrated thing with us or with the audience? Can we contribute to your idea? How we can contribute? Or
sorry for
too many
hesitating.
questions.
Very difficult many questions. We are in a very early stage, so maybe that's too early. So when it comes to progress concerning our projects, I keep you updated, and for that you have to send me your email or anything like that, so that I know that you're interested. Yeah. So maybe that.
Yeah.
But may I respond to Vedran again? So what you said before, just 1/2 minute. You said the quality is important, the price. And legal issues are also very important,
Yes.
When it comes, for example, to abortion or to fertility children and things like that. Legal issues, very, very important. So, I mean, there are many cornerstones that are very important. Okay. Only that. Thank you. Yeah.
I agree, because in a lot of countries, there is a problem with the legislation and the laws that
Exactly.
address. So
Exactly.
excellent point, Professor.
Yeah, yeah.
So we can recommend to our audience, our people that choose to be together with us, they can register to our special interest group. So we can give them the new news. We can make them updated about the news. This can be maybe the last recommendation to everybody. Okay, if you want, if you have any last questions, dear Anna, Vidran, or our, attendees, you can say, and then I think we can close the session.
No questions from me, just a huge thank you. And especially to all of you for a wonderful discussion, and to Leontine for assembling, and her colleague, I forgot the name, I apologize, for assembling us all today here.
Jane.
I think Jane, yes. Lovely webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I would like also thank you very much for your great contribution and the discussion and the possibility to be here with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And all the best to you all. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think this is time for Leontine. Does she want to say anything?
Yeah. Well, thank you. I stopped the live stream, so we're okay now. Well, that went very smoothly, didn't it?